Thanks so much for tuning back in with us. Now that we are back, we want to go to a couple members of a local fundraiser who are helping to raise funds for a foundation meant to kind of bring awareness and resources to a serious condition for mothers and newborns called Preeclampsia. Here with us now, we have Jana Connors and Shelby Axum Anderson. Thank you both so much. You are both with the GR Promise Walk, and kind of that's the fundraiser that you're using for funds for the Preeclampsia Foundation. But before we get to your specific efforts, I mean, you were kind of telling me, you were both preeclampsia survivors yourselves. I mean, a lot of people may not know what that even means at first. I mean, kind of walk people through that. What is preeclampsia and what are those signs and symptoms? Why is it so serious?
Preeclampsia is a condition that's unique to pregnancy, and kind of the markers of it are high blood pressure is like the most common symptom, but you can have rapid weight gain, rapid swelling, headaches, vision changes, belly pain on your right side, but all of those are just symptoms to what it actually is, and it's a disease and illness of the placenta, and your placenta is essentially starting to disintegrate. It's calling out for help. That's what's going on with the rest of your body, having all of those symptoms. And it causes, why it's so dangerous is it can lead to maternal fatality and fetal fatality as well. On top of that, it can lead to organ damage, brain swelling. It's a lot of very scary effects that can come out of having preeclampsia.
Yeah, certainly serious, absolutely. And I mean, kind of, what is the work of the foundation that your Promise Walk, that I still want to get to in a minute, but what is the work of the foundation that you're supporting here? What is it that they do for folks who may experience or are possibly experiencing preeclampsia?
So the Preeclampsia Foundation does a lot of things. Again, it's one of those leading organizations that is helping people with preeclampsia or hypertensive disorders. And so they're doing a lot of research, letting people know what's changing, what are things that they're making advances on. They do help local providers. They provide cuffs so women can check their blood pressure. They provide a lot of support groups. And I know that they provide a lot of opportunities to get involved with those that have been affected, because you feel alone, and you feel kind of like you're in an unknown space. At least that's how I felt. And I know a lot of women who have it come on suddenly, they kind of feel like they don't know what to do. And so that Preeclampsia Foundation gives you a one-stop kind of place to go to find help, find resources, and figure out what we can do to kind of work together.
Mm-hmm. And now for such an important mission like that, you folks, for a few years now, have been doing this annual event that you call the Promise Walk. Kind of tell us about what that is, how that kind of raises money. What are you doing there?
So it's actually a free event to attend, and then we have things that you can participate in. We are running fundraisers throughout the year. We did a Little Caesars fundraiser where you could order online, and then a portion goes back to the Promise Walk, then to the foundation. But at the event, we're going to have Bubble Magic will be there. We're going to have face painting. The KDL Bookmobile is going to be there as well. And then we'll also have a raffle. So you can purchase tickets for the raffle for the different items that will be available, and then any proceeds from that is then what will go to the foundation.
Awesome.
It's a really great opportunity to show support, to kind of celebrate, to raise awareness, show camaraderie, and it's more of like a symbolic walk together to make strides towards ending those, hypertensive disorders.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure it gives folks like you who may have experienced something similar that sense of community, like you were kind of saying. At first you would think you were alone in this kind of thing, but is that what you kind of get out of this? Is that what you feel at the Promise Walk a lot of times, is this sense of community for people who may have experienced the same thing as you?
Definitely. I think it really helps. And then there's 4 of us. We have 2 other chairs who are helping plan it. And so I know for the 4 of us, it's also built a little sense of community that we're not the only moms that are going through this. And so we've come together and we want to reach out to other people, and it's definitely helped build a community.
Mm-hmm. And how can people kind of take part in that? You're saying it's a free event, but kind of get into the details with us here now. I mean, like, where can we find it? When can we find it? How can people participate in that and help out if they're watching this and they want to do so?
Yeah, the best way, you can find us on Facebook, and it's the West Michigan Promise Walk, and that's got all the links to the parent website to sign up to register. But the parent website is hard to say, it's not really clear, and so just looking for the Preeclampsia Foundation or Promise Walks, and you'll be able to find the Grand Rapids or West Michigan Promise Walk.
Mm-hmm. How many years about exactly has the Promise Walk been around? How long have folks like you been putting it on?
I know they did it, I know I saw one probably 2018, 2019, but I think with COVID, there was probably a break in there. And then, yeah, you said you guys have probably about 5 years.
Yeah, I think locally it's been about 5 years. Nationally, because it is a national event, there's multiple different cities, multiple different dates. I'm not sure exactly how many years, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah. And what's the perception kind of been like, at least since you folks have been there? What is it kind of, how has the community kind of responded to that kind of effort? Are you finding others who have experienced the same kind of thing? Or are you finding a lot of others who are, wanting to go out of their way to help with these sort of efforts? I mean, what's the response you've kind of received over the years? What do you see at the Promise Walk?
Admittedly, it's pretty small, but it kind of mirrors how preeclampsia affects us. So preeclampsia and hypertensive disorders in pregnancy only affect about 8% of pregnancies, which sounds like a small number. It's about 1 in 12. So a lot of people don't talk about it, I would say, and that haven't. And it's in recent years that more people are talking about what happened. And as the medical community is becoming more aware and learning more, the general public is catching up a little bit. But then an event like that and like this, it kind of follows that trend where we don't have a ton of people that know about it yet. And that's why we're trying to continue reaching out and get more people to know about it. Because then when we tell people, they're like, I didn't know that was there. I didn't know you were here. And how can we help?
Like Jana said, this is my first year being on the committee. And as I've, kind of been spreading the word with my network, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I know so-and-so who had preeclampsia or, high blood pressure, and it was, it just really affected them. And so they get really excited. So I do think it's kind of just like preeclampsia. It's kind of getting the word out and saying like, hey, we're here, even though you may not have heard of it. It's here. We're here to support. We're here to, be a community together. And so, yeah, I think the more that people kind of realize that it's a local event, that it'll get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's not as much of a silent struggle as you may have once thought it was. You know it better than anybody else, unfortunately, ever could. From your views, I'll start with you, Jana. Why is it so important for you to get the word out and be a part of something like the Promise Walk? What is that importance to you, having experienced it firsthand?
I think the most important part for me is I consider myself to be pretty well educated. I went to school for 6 years and have a master's degree, and yet I was still blindsided by preeclampsia. It's one of those things where we've heard the name maybe, but that's often as far as it goes. So then you also hear it happens to people who already have high blood pressure, which isn't true. It can happen to any woman in any pregnancy at any time. And so for me, I felt blindsided by it and it surprised me. And then there's all these things that move really quickly and you have to make very quick decisions. And you often then don't understand fully the severity of it while you're living it. And then after the fact, you're like, that was really serious. That was really dangerous. And my family was all scared, but I wasn't totally scared because I wasn't there to really fully understand it. And I don't want any woman to go into pregnancy and be blindsided. And so for me, getting the word out and making sure people are aware of what's going on, what are the symptoms, but then also what are the steps that you can do and what can you do, what can you treat, how can you make it still a positive experience while facing something scary. That's why I want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Shelby, what is that importance to you?
Again, I have a mom and I have a twin sister who obviously shared their pregnancy experiences, and then I decided, to have a baby. And yeah, happened out of nowhere. Nobody knew about it. And again, realized how scary it was and how lucky I actually was, that maybe other families are not so lucky. Maybe they come home and they don't get to take their baby home, or their wife home because of it. And I just was like, I need to help. I need to help. If I can prevent that from happening, then I want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for your efforts on this and raising awareness and trying to do the good work there. Before we go, though, I mean, as we mentioned, you folks know it better than anyone. Are there any final thoughts that we haven't talked about so far, but you feel is important to mention when we're talking about either the experience or the Promise Walk itself? Is there anything we're not talking about but is still weighing on your mind that you feel like needs to be said? Either of you, I'd just open it up.
This is for everyone. So everyone, whether you've had a family member, your sister, your mom, aunt, anybody, this is for everyone to come. It doesn't just have to be, like that immediate family or anybody affected. So please come and show support, because it's not just the women, who have these disorders. It's everybody. So I feel like we kind of want that community aspect. So.
Absolutely. As Shelby said, like, it affects all of us, really. And so being able to know who's around you and support who is in your life and in your family and your friends, it's really important. And we want everybody to know that we're here and it's available and it's free and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you both so much for taking time. Really appreciate it, and good luck to you folks with the work that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.